In this video I want to talk a bit about the builder, and to do that I'm not going to do an import. I'm just going to go into a blank template so that we can just see the basic structure of how this works. And so let's do this as a test document. And so I've just loaded in basically a blank template. Okay, and so in a blank template you can start to see the basic construct of what's in one of these ebooks. So first of all, you have headings and you have paragraphs, and the paragraph basically is a name for the style of the text that's going in there. And if you want to add more, okay, so if the import has done its job and you want to add more content, then what you do is you go to the left here to elements and you go to typography and you drag these elements into where you want them. So for example, let's say I want a heading in between these two paragraphs, and I click on heading and drag it over and drop it wherever it appears. And let's put another one further down. Okay, so I drag that in into there like that. Okay, and with anything online, so with a web page, the way these are designed, each heading you can have obviously, you know, the main headings, subheadings, and so on. And the way that's defined is over here by type. Okay, so this is an H2. Normally your page headings, so the page header, will be an H1. Okay, then the heading within the content is normally an H2, and you can select subheadings or make it the style for another heading a subheading and call that an H3, for example. Yeah, and let's, for the sake of argument, make this an H4. And what that means is that basically if you set a style for any of these headings, it will apply to all the headings in the whole document. In the same way that if you put a style for the paragraph type, it will change the whole document. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let's look at the font size. Okay, so let's say this font size is too big for my document. Then what I do is I click on the paragraph, I go to the left hand side here, click on text style, and this is the definition of the paragraph style. So let's change it from a 20 point to 12. So I just literally type in 12 like that, and it changes everything. Okay, so you can see that all the paragraphs have changed in one instance. And if I wanted to change anything else within the whole document, I can adjust them here. Okay, so I've got sort of formatting options and underlines, for example, or italics. Right, and you can see this again adjusts the whole document. Everything on this left margin is for the styles for the whole document. Now, if I wanted to adjust something just for this paragraph, then what I do is I double click, okay, and then I highlight any of the text I want to change. Okay, so if I wanted to change just a word, I just highlight that word and click on bold. For example, if I wanted to make the whole paragraph bold, I can do that there. If I wanted to change the font for that paragraph, I can do that here. Okay, and you know, if I want to change the size, etc. Okay, so the key thing to understand is that if I want to change one individual thing, I double click on it. Okay, and this little mini editor appears. Or if I want to change the whole document, then I change the style on the left hand side here after selecting whatever style I want to change. Right. The next thing you'll want to know is what other styles can I add here. So if I go to elements on the left and go to typography again, we've added paragraphs, so I can do that. Okay, let's do that again, just like that. Okay, if I want to add in let's see, a list, so basically bullets, then I can add them in like that. Okay, and generally bullets are another style. Okay, so that normally there will be a different size to your paragraph text, and often you'll want to fix that. because most people have their lists a similar sort of size. So leave that selected, okay, and just change the size here on the left like that, 12. And you can see it's now made it exactly the same. Other things you can do is the block type. Let's put that up here. The block quote, I should say. And there is a definition list. Links, obviously this is for HTML links, you can put those in there. And when you want to make that, change the URL for that link, you click on this edit icon here, and you can put the URL for the web page just there. And then there's tables. I'll leave the tables for another video because that takes everyone into a much more detailed view of how to manage this. But for now, what I wanted you to really understand is you can define different levels of headings, how you can define the styles for the overall document, and how you can customize any particular styles for any particular words or paragraphs. And then also really how to move stuff around. Okay, so if ever I want to move a paragraph, let's say I want to move this paragraph here that begins with NEC to below the lorem ipsum one, then I just click it once, and then I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard to go down. So I've just moved it down. Okay, see that? It's going down, and I'm moving back up again, back up, like that. Or I can use my mouse and drag and drop, like that. Okay, so that's how you can, adjust things as you're going through. Other things to understand, it's obviously if I want to remove a paragraph, then I literally click on the bin icon just here. Okay, so literally clicking on that will remove it completely. If I've done that by mistake, then I've got my undo feature here. Okay, and I can just undo it. Right, so I'll do that for you again. So I select that. If I click the bin symbol, it disappears. If I go down here, click on undo, it comes back again. Okay, then the other thing you might want to do eventually is to start adjusting some of the background colors. Okay, so for example, for a paragraph, if I wanted to adjust or make a paragraph stand out, then one trick is to put a background color against it. And you have to be quite subtle about this. Okay, so the way to do it for one particular paragraph is double click, so you get the mini editor here, and highlight your text and click on the paintbrush symbol here. Okay, so this is to add your background color for that particular paragraph. And the way to do this in reality is to be really subtle about what you're trying to do. So let's say my color scheme is this purple color, then I can select purple, but obviously that's just too heavy for the middle of the content. So what I can do is just adjust the opacity, right? And that adjusts how transparent it is. And so I can do it really, really subtly right to the left-hand side here. Click on choose. And when I click away, you can see now that the paragraph has an accent. It's been highlighted within my document, so it kind of makes it stand out as something important, which is good. But of course, it's subtle. It doesn't knock you in the face. If you want to clear that, okay, so you decided no, it's just no good, then above here is an icon called Clear Formatting. And if you click on that, that will remove the formatting that you just set up and restore it to as it was as standard. So if I click on that, you see that the color's now gone. Okay. The other thing you might want to do is, again, if you're bringing out any particular paragraphs, you might want to adjust the layout. And so you have these toggles around a paragraph that you can move up and down. So if I want to move this paragraph on the left hand side, then I can grab the right toggle and drag it in like that. Okay, if I want to right justify that paragraph, then I grab the left toggle and just push it along like that. Okay, and I can, if it's bleeding into text, then I can create more room for the paragraph by using this bottom toggle here as well. Okay, so I think we've covered enough on handling fonts, and in the next video we'll just go through how to manage your cover page.